Game 1, Western Conference Finals, 2026. San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending NBA champions. Double overtime, nearly 50 minutes of playoff warfare. And Victor Wembanyama, just 22 years old and playing in his first conference finals, puts up 41 points and 24 rebounds. 24 rebounds. At 22 years old. Nobody in NBA history has ever produced a playoff performance quite like that at his age. The Thunder may win the series. The Spurs may lose Game 7. But that's not the real story. The real story is what happens when this San Antonio team fully matures. Because they aren't just a good young team anymore. They are becoming the blueprint for the NBA's next dynasty. And it's happening much faster than anyone expected. 1 year ago, the Spurs won only 22 games. They were near the bottom of the Western Conference and years away from contention. Fast forward one season and they've won 58 games, secured the second seed, stormed through the playoffs, and pushed the defending champions to the limit. This isn't a rebuild anymore. This is an arrival. Everything starts with Wembanyama. He is 7'4", shoots like a guard, protects the rim like an all-time great, and changes every possession simply by being on the floor. During the regular season, he averaged nearly 25 points, over 11 rebounds, and led the league in blocks while playing fewer than 30 minutes per game. Then the playoffs arrived, and somehow he became even better. 41 points and 24 rebounds in his first conference finals game. Hakeem Olajuwon never did that at 22. Shaquille O'Neal never did that at 22. Tim Duncan never did that at 22. Nobody did. And the most impressive part isn't even the numbers. It's how quickly he adjusts. Struggle in one game, dominate the next. Take away his paint scoring, he stretches the floor. Double team him inside, he beats you with passing and shot making. The most important playoff skill isn't talent. It's adaptation. At 22 years old, Wembanyama is already mastering both. But the terrifying reality for the rest of the league is that he isn't carrying this team alone. Stephon Castle is emerging into one of the most complete young guards in basketball. Dylan Harper is producing a rookie postseason that places him in conversations with names like Magic Johnson, Manu Ginobili, and Jason Tatum. De'Aaron Fox provides the veteran leadership, scoring, and stability every contender needs. Wembanyama is the superstar, but the players around him aren't role players. They're future stars developing right in front of us. Most franchises spend years trying to find a second star. The Spurs may already have 3. Harper might become a 4th. And if all of this sounds familiar, that's because San Antonio has done it before. The last time the Spurs had a core this young, this talented, and this clearly aimed toward championships was the late 1990s. Tim Duncan arrived. The culture was already built. The system was already in place. 5 championships followed. The Spurs didn't accidentally create a dynasty then, and they aren't accidentally building one now. Through coaching changes, losing seasons, and roster turnover, the culture never disappeared. The development system remained. The standards remained. The identity remained. That's why this team responds the way it does under pressure. Facing elimination, they didn't panic. They attacked. They controlled games from start to finish. That's not just talent. That's culture. That's what happens when elite young players grow inside a championship environment. A lot of teams have talented rosters. Very few have a foundation like San Antonio's. Now consider the timeline. Wembanyama is 22. Castle is 20. Harper is still a teenager. Their best basketball is years away. While other contenders worry about aging stars and shrinking championship windows, the Spurs are only opening theirs. The rest of the Western Conference is trying to win now. San Antonio might be built to win now and still dominate 5 or 10 years from today. There are 5 championship banners hanging in San Antonio, all built through development, patience, culture, and a superstar who elevated everyone around him. Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, and Popovich created a dynasty that lasted 15 years. The formula never disappeared. It evolved. Wembanyama isn't the next Tim Duncan. He's something basketball has never seen before. A player with elite rim protection, perimeter skill, shooting range, and playmaking ability in a 7'4" frame. A player who is only beginning to understand how dominant he can become. The Spurs may win tonight. They may lose. But that's almost irrelevant. Because this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning. The last Spurs dynasty started with a 21-year-old named Tim Duncan. The next one may be starting with a 22-year-old named Victor Wembanyama. The question is no longer whether San Antonio will be great. The question is how many championships they'll win before the rest of the league figures out how to stop them.
Avery and Dave would get into religious discussions on the bus, on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And those of us that weren't as...
3 of them, 3 out of 5.
Right? And he hit 2 in a row. But I remember in the second quarter,
They're making their own breaks because they're just scrappy and they're hustling.
Wembanyama for 3. He responds by snapping the net.
Yeah, to be toughing it out there in that first half. But there's Luke Cornett.
It's Wembanyama and Keldon Johnson.
Ray Jones has been a huge catalyst in this game. Oh.
I don't know if Wemby was expecting that pass.
Watch this one right here. A little surprise. And that's a tiny old man dunk. Just kind of rolls around the rim and finally falls.
Wembanyama spinning and fading on one leg. Yes!
He's got to touch it pretty much every time down the floor. Those are the ones we saw pick up a charge or 2 in this ball game. So he's able to stop on a dime, raise up over the top of the defense.
Rising up and getting one to fall again.
Victor Wembanyama. That's soft touch.
Castle's officially got a double-double. Big shot! In Chi-Town, and we're all tied at 114. Wemby again.
Just had to feel that he was going to take that shot. Just supreme confidence in the fourth quarter.
Crowd on its feet here inside of the United Center. Nighttime, we've been tied. And Barnes rejected Jones.
Take your time. Push it up. Be very aware of the defense. And Victor, he might fall up with another 3 ball game. He's feeling it.
Wembanyama with the ball in his hands. He's got 33. Shot clock going down. Vucevic guarding. Wembanyama. On top. How about that for some Chicago pizza?
Off of that play, and then, of course, it's the Area 51 takeover. There it is. Freak to alien, and then there's a big block. They almost blocked it. Victor almost blocked it into the basket. And then you give it right back to him. Mixes up Vucevic, and like Will Purdue said, it's a nightmare for bigs.